Okay, Shadow of the Vampire from 2001 is a fictional account of the making of Nosferatu that was advertised as more of a black comedy when it's really not. John Malkovich plays F.W. Murnau, and Willem Dafoe plays Max Schreck the Vampire, and it's an interesting movie. I don't think it's great, but it has merit. It's definitely the weakest of the three, what you can call Nosferatu films, the original, the remake, and this. But it's got its moments, and it does show some interesting insights into what filmmaking was like back then because it was a silent movie when they're filming. In F.W. Murnau, he's not just directing, but he's explaining the character's motivations in the scene. I thought that was a nice touch, and F.W. Murnau in this one comes across as a madman. He hires a real vampire, and the producer and another one of the characters are discussing how they've hired this actor who becomes the part and has to inhabit the role. Basically, he's a method actor, and that he only wants to be referred to as Counterlock. He'll only come out at night, so on and so forth. And that's how they set it up, and it does build up some suspense to when we first see him. This is a odd film because at times it wants to be a horror movie, at other times it almost wants to be a just straight more serious movie, and at times it wants to be a comedy. So there's a real identity crisis going on with this film that, if I'm to be honest, hurts the pacing. I like it, but it's never going to be a go-to film, and if I want to watch a Nosferatu movie, most of the time I'm either going to watch the original or the remake, and this one's going to get passed up. Again, not that it's bad, it's just kind of a odd film that was produced by Nicolas Cage. And like even some of the scenes, like there's a scene where Orlok kills the cameraman and feeds on him, and F.W. Murnau's like, "What's going on? Couldn't you kill the script girl?" And this scene is funny because he's very straight and a matter of fact in his delivery. Like, she'll be my next meal. And, that's funny, but it's stuff like that they threw in the trailer, making this look more like a comedy. Udo Kier plays the producer and is involved in probably my favorite scene. This happens after the cameraman is killed and Murnau goes to hire another one. The vampire shows up, and we do get an interesting perspective of life as a vampire, because he asks him, "So, how did you feel did you read the book Dracula?" He's like, "Yeah, Murnau gave that to me to read," and he asks, "What did you think of it?" He goes, "Oh, I thought it was very sad." "Really? What are you talking about? Did you read the book?" "Well, the part when Harker comes to the castle, the meal was prepared for him. Dracula had lived in that castle all these years. Does he even remember where to go to buy bread or how to make it, where to get cheese, how to prepare the meal? Because he has no servants," and they even asked, because they're supposed to address him as the character, "How old are you?" "I don't remember." "How long have you been a vampire?" "I don't remember." "How did you become a vampire?" "I don't remember." That's a nice scene because you get the sense that this character is so old, he literally just doesn't remember a lot of his life because thousands of years have passed. And it kind of, in that moment, snapshots what a curse living like that would really be. And again, like, it's with the identity crisis. he sees a bat flying, he grabs it, like rips the head off and starts drinking the blood, and like the producer and the other guy, they play it off as, oh, he's drunk. And it is a great scene still. That's the best bit in the movie. And there's another scene later where they're arguing because cast and crew are constantly dropping dead, and people are getting worried. And F.W. Murnau's like, I won't have you endanger my movie. And he's like, Mick Shrek's like, this is hardly your movie anymore. And it's kind of this race of cat and mouse of, can the movie be finished before he kills everyone? And he's been promised that he can kill the lead actress, but only during the filming of the final scene. And we really, at this point, get to see how mad F.W. Murnau is in this movie, that he doesn't care who dies as long as it doesn't hamper his movie. The producer's getting nervous at this point, like he knows he's ruined, and we see there is a trap for the final scene where they'll open these doors and let the sunlight in and actually kill the vampire. When we get to the final scene, pretty much everyone's dead. He even drugs the final actress. The cameraman played Ellis is alive. Udo's character's alive, and John Malkovich's character's alive, and the vampire, and they're filming him, and actually filming him feed on and kill the lead actress, and both the producer and cameraman fight back and get killed. So at this point, everyone's dead, and it's just John Malkovich, F.W. Murnau, cranking the camera, filming the movie, and some people come in and do open the trap door, killing the vampire. Everyone's dead, but his movie's in the can. It's an interesting movie. I don't think it'll ever be considered a classic, but it's definitely worth a watch, and I'm curious to see when the new remake of Nosferatu comes out, what Willem Dafoe's portrayal of Count Orlok is going to be like. That's what interests me most about this remake, because Willem Dafoe is already part of the history of the legacy of Nosferatu with this movie. Now he gets to full-on play Count Orlok, and I can't wait to see what they do for it. I'll give this movie a B-. It's definitely the low point of the Nosferatu celebration movies. It's a movie, like I said, with an odd identity crisis, but it has great cinematography. Like old school cinematography on old school film. This film was shot great. It looks great. And I still recommend it. So like, share, subscribe. Montober will continue next Salem's Lot. Or I don't know how I'm going to break these up, so disregard that. Over and out.